Hi everyone, this is Kona, and we are getting closer and closer to midterm, week 8. So for week 7, let's see what we've got going on. So for our week 7 information, so first of all, the topic for this week is probabilities, which for most people, probabilities make sense. It's something that seems familiar. It's kind of like gambling, which in general, most people are kind of familiar with. I mean, even if you're not personally, invested in it, you at least you've played cards, you've done something like that where you've got an idea. So here's your notes. I will say the partitioning and factorials, please pay extra close attention to the calculator and how that works in the calculator. But I do have the week 7 probability examples here, and then the factorials. The factorials shouldn't be difficult if you really go through the video, take your notes and everything like that, but just want to make sure. And then I've got some example problems that should also help as well. So there is your study resources. So assignments, we do have discussion 7, probabilities. So for this one, find something around your house that you can use for your probability question. Colored fruit snacks, Starbursts, M&Ms, paper clips, gumballs, just about anything that's the same but just has a different color or something like that. Write your probability problem and make sure to include the item for your problem, the breakdown of how many of each different color or type, and a picture of your item, which is really important so people can really see it. And then based on your item, write 3 different probability questions, but do not provide the answer. Follow-up 1, respond to someone's initial post providing the answer to one of their questions. And explain how you got it. Do this for 2 different people. Follow-up part 2, when someone is responding to your post with an answer, let them know if they have the right answer or not. If the person doesn't have the right answer, make sure you let them know how you got the right answer. So there was your first assignment. The next one is your quiz, which, let's see, there, your quiz. Excuse me. So for the quiz, we're just, once again, working on probabilities. The big thing here is make sure you review those resources before you submit this. Also, rounding percents to 1 decimal if needed. So that's for a percent, it's 1 decimal if needed, but do not type the percent symbol. And round probabilities to 4 decimal places if needed. So just pay attention to that. Let me know if you have questions with that one. If anything, err on the side of providing more rather than less. So the next part is the introduction and methods. So the following assignment is really, it's like a rough draft of your introduction and methods for your Project 2 final paper. So I'm having you do this now because basically you can already do the introduction and methods right now. And so the methods especially is fresh in your mind. It's just going to be easier if you go ahead and get this stuff done. So then that way, when you get further out and you're doing the results and everything else, you're not coming back and trying to say, wait, how did I do that methodology again? Or what was this again? So it's important to just go ahead and go through, do your introduction, what's the topic of the article, and by the article, I mean this one, America's Complex Relationship with Guns. Briefly summarize what the article was about. We only asked a few of the questions from this article, so only the questions 1, 2, 3, and 4. Right. I thought I shut that down. So moving on though. So here's your example. And then do you think we as a class, what do you think we can learn? And yes, how to use Minitab and do statistics as part of it, but please go beyond that to answer this question. Then methodology, it's your data dictionary, how the data was collected. This should include not only how you personally did it, but a summary from the class, from that discussion we did in class. And then the demographics. Also, here, make sure for the data, include the actual numbers. So the actual numbers and percents, online versus face-to-face, include the Minitab output. And for the demographics, include the total number of people surveyed and then specific percents, graphs, figures as needed for the gender and political affiliation. So make sure to do that. And then the references, include at least a reference to that, but beyond that, you're good. So that's it for week 7. It's just those 3 assignments, but we're heading into week 8, and there will be more fun stuff here. So make sure you get everything done in week 7 so we can get into week 8.